Good morning to one and all. This is Shama, Physics PhD from KGBV, Sitaman. Now I would like to explain about electromagnetic induction part 5. So in this electromagnetic induction, in previous class I explained about self-induction and mutual induction. So what is self-induction? We know that. Consider a coin. This coin is connected to that battery as well as switch. So here this is the positive terminal of the battery and this is the negative terminal of the battery and this is switch. Suppose for example 10 volts is applied, then what will happen? The current is passes through the coil. The current is passes through the coil. So here, first of all, whenever the switch is closed, then the current is increases from 0 to etc. 2 amperes, 3 amperes, so on etc. 1 ampere, 2 amperes, 3 amperes, etc. So here, the current, whenever we close the switch, it does not show, suddenly it does not show the current. Suppose for example, yesterday I explained 5 ohms of resistance. So here we are applying 10 volts. Next, the potential is 10 volts and the the resistance is 5 ohms. Then what about the current passes through that coil? So that is nothing but 2 amperes. So this 2 amperes current, it does not show directly, it does not show the 2 amperes current passes through the coil. It will take some time. Means, suppose first of all, whenever the switch is closed, the current is rises from 0 to 2 amperes. It will take some time. We know that. So here, whenever the switch is closed, the current is passes through the coil, and whenever the current is passes through the coil, magnetic flux is increases or decreases. So here the magnetic flux is increases means there is a varying magnetic flux. So whenever the current passes through the coil, then there exists a varying magnetic field. Due to that varying magnetic field, the flux is varies. Due to that varying flux, induced EMF is generated in this coil. So that is nothing but that phenomenon is known as self-induction. So here the current is passes from positive terminal to negative terminal. According to Lenz's law, what is Lenz's law? It will gives us a direction of the induced EMF. So it will gives us a direction of induced EMF. So it opposes the what is the cause of produced to EMF, induced EMF. So that's why that direction is it opposes. So that's why this direction it opposes the direction. Lenz's law gives us a direction of the induced EMF. So this EMF is nothing but back EMF. So here that phenomenon is known as self-induction. So here, what is the suppose for example, I current passes through this conduct coil. I current passes through this solenoid. So here, suppose for example, whenever the current I is maintained, suppose here the current I is maintained, then some work has to be done. Some work has to be given to that coil. Then only it will maintain I current. So, what is that work done? That is nothing but external work done. So, the energy stored in an inductor. So what is the energy stored in a electrical power. Why? Because the power, what is the power? So here dW is equals to, that electrical power can be written as V into I into dt. So here V, what is V means? Here the potential. Suppose 1 volt, we have to given 1 volt. Then what will happen? Due to this 1 volt, the induced EMF is produced. So that's why here V is equals to minus E according to this. So dW is equals to minus E into I dt. So here E is nothing but induced EMF. So what is the induced EMF? dW is equals to minus induced EMF. Induced EMF E is equals to minus L into di by dt. We know that in previous class we learned about induced EMF is equals to minus L into di by dt. So how it will be means, we know that whenever the flux is varies. So whenever the flux is varies, then the current is also varies. Whenever the current is varies, the flux is varies. So both are directly proportional. So from this, phi is equals to, whenever we remove proportional, we must add a proportionality constant L. So this is nothing but, this L is known as coefficient of self-induction or self-inductance. So from that, L is equals to phi by L is equals to phi by I. We know that. So here, what is the induced EMF? Induced EMF E is equals to the negative, according to Faraday's law, negative rate of magnetic flux. Negative rate of magnetic flux. So here, see, once with respect to T, we have to differentiate with respect to T. Then d phi is equals to, what will happen? L into di. With respect to T means d phi by dt is equals to L into di by dt. So here d phi by dt is equals to minus L into di by dt. So here d phi with the negative rate of magnetic flux is equals to induced EMF. So that's why induced EMF is equals to minus L into di by dt. So from this, E is equals to, induced EMF is equals to L into di by minus L into di by dt. So minus of minus L into di by dt into I dt. So here minus into minus plus. So that work done, dW is equals to plus L into di by dt I dt. dt get cancelled. So dW is equals to L into I di. So here, so this is the external work done. Suppose in that circuit, initially the current is 0. 0 to, it will maintain I current. Then what is that external work done? We have to calculate. So from that, so dW is equals to L into IDL. So here within the limits 0 to I, we have to integrate. Integral dW is equals to 0 to I L into I di. So derivative integral get cancelled. So then W is equals to L into I di is nothing but I square by 2. Within the limits So this is the external work done. So this is the external work done. So this is nothing but the potential energy is stored in an inductor. So this magnetic energy. So what is inductor? Inductor is a device which stores a energy in the form of magnetic field. So that's why. So what is the energy stored in an inductor? So that is nothing but W is equals to half Li square. So here, what is the energy stored in an inductor means? Suppose initially we have to apply 10 volts to that circuit, to that solenoid. So then what will happen? The coil, then what will happen? The current is initially whenever the switch is closed. So the current is rises from 0 to some current, so 2 amperes or 3 amperes, etc. So here the current is rises up to some value. After that it will show a current. What is the current passes through that coil? So here suppose if the current I passes through the coil, if it will maintain I current passes through that coil, then we have to do some external work on that. So that external work is stored as potential energy in an magnetic potential energy in an inductor. So what is that work done we have to calculate? So then W is equals to P into dt, where P is electrical power. So here it can be written as V into I, where V is potential. Suppose if 1 volt potential is applied to that coil, then what will happen? It will convert it. Whenever the 1 volt potential is applied to that coil, then what will happen? The current is passes through that coil. So then the flux is varies. So then induced EMF is generated. So that's why here V is equals to induced EMF. According to Lenz's law, it will opposes the direction. So that's why minus E. So it will be equal to minus E I dt. So here dW is equals to minus into what is induced EMF? Induced EMF. So in self-induction, that induced EMF is equals to minus L into di by dt, I into dt. So here minus into minus plus L into di by dt, I dt. So here dt get cancelled. So then L into I di. So this is the work done. So here it will maintain the current from 0 to I. Initially 0, after that it will maintain a current I. So within the limits we have to integrate that equation. So then this derivation integral get cancelled. Then W is equals to L into I di within the limit 0 to I. 0 to L I di is nothing but I square by 2. So within the limit 0 to I we have to substitute the limits. Then W is equals to half Li square. So this is the work done. We have to do this work done. Then it will maintain I current passes through the coil. So this is about the energy stored in an inductor. So next one is self-inductance of a long solenoid. So what is the self-inductance of a long solenoid means? Let us consider a solenoid of length L, So here this is a battery and this is the switch. So here whenever the switch is closed, we know that the current passes through the coil. Whenever the current passes through the coil, magnetic field is produced. So due to that magnetic field, the flux Mu naught Ni is the magnetic field due to the solenoid. So then B is equals to mu naught Ni. So from that flux phi is equals to mu naught Nia. Mu naught Nia. Suppose the coil, if it has a n number of turns, it has a n number of turns, so then the flux phi is equals to n into mu naught Nia. So where n is the number of turns and small m is the number of turns per unit length. Number of turns per unit length. So from that, small n is equals to capital N by L. The length of the solenoid is L. So from that, what is the flux? Phi is equals to n into mu naught n by L Ia. So here, from this, what is the flux? Phi is equals to mu naught n square Ia by L. So this is the flux. So what is the self-inductance of a solenoid? We have to calculate the self-inductance. So from this, see once here, these are all constants, but it varies, the flux varies with I. So from this, what we have to conclude? Flux is directly proportional to I. Flux is directly proportional to I. So here, flux is directly proportional to I. So whenever we remove proportional, we must add a proportionality constant. So that is nothing but L into I. So flux phi is equals to L into I. So we have to calculate the self-inductance of a long solenoid. So this is the solenoid and the length of the solenoid is L. Here it contains n number of turns. The two ends of the solenoid is connected with battery and the switch. So here whenever, suppose for example, 2 volts is applied on this circuit, then what will happen? Whenever the switch is closed, so the current is passes through the coil, the current is passes through the solenoid. So whenever the current is passes through the solenoid, magnetic field is produced. So magnetic field is also varies. When the current is varies, magnetic field is also varies. Due to that varying magnetic field, magnetic flux is also varies. Due to that varying magnetic flux, induced EMF is generated. The direction of the induced, according to the Lenz's law, the direction of the induced EMF is opposite to that cause produced to that induced EMF. So here, from that, what is flux? We know that B into A. So B, where B is the magnetic field due to the solenoid. So B is equals to mu naught Ni. Already we learned in previous class. So phi is equals to mu naught Nia. So phi is equals to n into, if it has an n number of turns, so then n into mu naught Nia, where capital N is the number of turns and small n is the number of turns per unit length. So phi is equals to capital N into mu naught. In place of small n, I have to substitute n by n, capital N by n into Ia. So phi is equals to mu L into I. From there, what is L? So L is equals to Q by I. Sorry, 5 by I. L is equals to 5 by I. So what about 5? L is equals to mu naught n square IA by L into by L. So here mu naught n square IA by L by I. So it will be reciprocal. So from that into 1 by I get cancelled. Then what is the self-inductance of a solenoid? Means mu naught n square A by L. Mu naught n square A by L. So here see once small n is equals to capital N by L, where capital N is equals to small n into L. So from that L is equal to mu naught n into L, n square A by L, L get cancelled. Then L is equals to mu naught n square LA. So this is the self-inductance of a long solenoid. So that is the self-inductance of a long solenoid. So here 5 is equals to L into I. So where L is equals to 5 by I, what is the flux? Already we calculated. Mu naught n square IA by L by I. I is nothing but correct. So it is the reciprocal. So that's why 1 by I get cancelled. Mu naught n square A by L. So here capital N is the number of turns, small n is the number of turns per unit length. So capital N can be written as small n into L. I have to substitute in place of n square, small n square L square A by L. L get cancelled. Then mu naught n square LA is the self-inductance of a long solenoid. So next one is mutual induction. So what is mutual induction? Means here it contains two coils, two solenoids, This is the battery and this is switch, this is galvanometer. So this is the first coil, coil 1, and this is coil 2. So here suppose for example whenever the switch is closed, the current passes through the solenoid. So whenever the current is varies, so then what will happen? Magnetic field is produced. So due to that magnetic field, flux is varies. Magnetic field is also varies. Then the flux is also varies. Due to this varying flux, induced EMF is generated in the coil 2. So how can we say that induced EMF is generated in the coil 2 means it shows the deflections in galvanometer. So here whenever the current passes through the coil 1, then what will happen? Magnetic field is varies. Due to that varying magnetic field, flux is also varies. Due to that varying flux, induced EMF is generated in the coil 2. So here due to that first coil, induced EMF is generated in the second coil. So this phenomenon is known as mutual induction. So here mutual induction So where M is equals to phi2 by I1. Okay, the next one is mutual induction of two coaxial solenoids. So here phi is directly proportional to I. We know that. From that, phi is equal to whenever we remove proportional, we must add a proportionality constant, that is nothing but n. Differentiate the above equation with respect to time. So from that, d phi by dt is equals to m into di by dt. So here, the negative rate of magnetic flux is equals to that induced EMF. Suppose if it has a n number of turns, so then it can be written as induced EMF is equals to, so this is EMF is equals to m into di by dt. So from that is equals to minus m into di by dt. So this is the induced EMF. So we have to calculate the mutual inductance of two coaxial solenoids. So Siemens, these are two solenoids having equal area of cross section, A, and coaxial solenoids, both having same axis. So that is nothing but it represents the magnetic field B1 or B. This is the, so these are number of turns. This is the primary coil. So Siemens, primary coil. It contains n1 number of turns. It contains n1 number of turns. Next, this is the secondary coil. It contains n2 number of turns. It contains n2 number of turns. The current passes through the first coil is I1, coil 1 is I1, and the second coil is I2, and the second coil is I2. So here the flux passing through the coil 1 is phi1, and the flux passing through the coil 2 is phi2. So here already we know that phi2 is directly proportional to I1. So here, suppose for example, Siemens, this is the first coil of length L. So this is the primary coil, and suppose this is the secondary coil. So here, like this, it contains, primary coil contains n1 number of turns, secondary solenoid contains n2 number of turns, and the flux passing through the coil 1 is nothing but solenoid 1 is phi1, and the flux passing through the second coil, that is flux phi2. The current passes through the first coil is I1, and the second coil is I2. So the length of the solenoid is L. Here the area of cross section is same, both having same axis, coaxial solenoids. So both having same axis. Here the turns are varies and the flux and current is varies. So from phi 2 is equals to N2 into B1A. Here, not a B1, both have coaxial, so that's why, suppose it is B. We have to take it is B. B1. So, from that, the magnetic field at the center of the solenoid, we know that B is equals to mu naught N1 I1. Mu naught N1 I1. So here, phi 2 is equals to B N2 into BA. So phi 2 is equals to N2 mu naught N1 I1 A. So here the area cross section is same. Due to I1 current definitely varies. So from that we have to substitute here I1. So here N1, small n1 is nothing but number of turns per unit length. Number of turns per unit length. So from that small n1 is equals to capital N1 by N and N2 is equals to capital N2 by N. So here from that phi 2 is equals to N2 into mu naught N1 I1 A. So phi 2 is equals to, already we know that, suppose for example consider it is a solenoids. So, mutual inductance of a two coaxial solenoids. So here, coaxial solenoids is nothing but both having same axis. So here, these are the number of turns in primary coil N1 and N2 be the number of turns in secondary coil, and the length of the two solenoids are L, and the flux passing through the coil 1 solenoid 1 is phi 1, and the flux passing through the solenoid 2 is phi 2, and the current passing through the solenoid 1 is I1, and the current passing through the solenoid 2 is I2. So here the area of cross section of the both coils are same, that is nothing but A. So here this is the N1 be the number of turns in primary coil, N2 be the number of turns in secondary coil. So according to mutual induction, what is mutual induction? Whenever the current passes through the coil 1, then the magnetic field is varies and the magnetic flux is also varies. Due to that varying of magnetic flux in the first coil, then the induced EMF is generated in the second coil. So this phenomenon is known as mutual induction. So due to first coil, due to varying of current in that first coil, induced EMF is generated in the second coil. So that is nothing but mutual induction. So that's why here the current I1. So here whenever the current is varies, then the flux is varies in the second coil. So that's why induced EMF is generated. So from that phi 2 is directly proportional to I1. So here phi 2 is equals to M into I1. What is M means? Mutual induction, coefficient of mutual induction or mutual inductance. So here, what is flux passing through the second coil? So second coil means it has a number of turns N2. Already we know that flux phi is equals to VA. So here, what is the flux passing through the second coil means phi 2 is equals to, here phi 2 it has a number of turns N2 B into A. So from that phi 2 is equals to N2 into BA, where B is nothing but magnetic field. So magnetic field at the center of the solenoid. Magnetic field at the center of the solenoid is B is equals to mu naught N1 I1. So here mu naught N1 I1, where small n1 be the number of turns per unit length. So phi 2 is equals to, this is equation 1, and phi 2 is equals to N2 into BA, this is equation 2, and what is the magnetic field at the center of the solenoid is 3. So we have to substitute equation 3 in equation 2. From that phi 2 is equals to N2 into mu naught N1 I1 A. So from that equation 1, phi 2 is equals to M into I1. Phi 2 is equals to M into I1. So these two, suppose for example, this is equation 1. From that equation 1 and 4, from equation 1 and 4, left sides are equal, so right sides must be equal. So from that M I1 is equals to mu naught. So from that phi 2 left sides are equal, so M I1 is equals to mu naught N2 N1 I1 A by L. So M is equals to mu naught N1 N2 into A by L. So here mu naught N1 I1, where N1 is equals to, so here Mi1 is equals to N2 mu naught N1 I1 A by A. So here phi2 is equals to N2 mu naught N1 I1 A. Phi2 is equals to M I1. So from that M I1 is equals to, left sides are equal, right sides must be equal. Mu naught N1 I1 A. Okay. So here N1, small n1 is nothing but capital N1 by L. So Mi1 is equals to N2 mu naught N1 by L I1 A. So here I1 get cancelled. So then M is equals to mu naught N1 N2 A by L. N1 N2 A by L. So here, so mu naught is the permeability. So suppose if it is in air, suppose if the solenoid is placed in a medium, so then it can be written as M is equals to mu M N1 N2 A by L. So where is relative permeability, mu R is equals to mu M by mu naught. So from that mu M is equals to mu naught into mu R. So M is equals to mu naught into mu R N1 N2 A by L. So this is the mutual inductance of a two coaxial solenoids. So here capital N1 is nothing but the small n1 into L. Capital N2 is nothing but small n2 into L. We have to substitute in place of capital N1 small n1 into L, capital N2 equal to small n2 into L. Area is nothing but pi r square. So here M is equals to mu naught N1L and L pi r square by L. L get cancelled. So then M is equals to mu naught N1 N2 L into pi r square. So this is the mutual inductance of a two coaxial solenoids. Okay, thank you.
All of you to the intermediate online classes, second year English. First of all, I would like to thank the authorities, the organizers of these online classes, which are very much valuable to all of you. Already, all of us have lost a lot of academic time due to COVID pandemic. So, we have to pull up the lost time. You can buy a watch, but not time. So, my dear students, please be attentive to each and every class that's being taught to you online. All your lessons that are to be taught offline, that means in your classroom, are being taught now online. I hope all of you would surely make use of this opportunity given by the authorities. Now, before starting my lesson, I would like to request each and everybody, all the students, to be attentive and jot down important points that I tell you, or take down whatever that is needed from the slides that are being shown. Now, I would like to deal with one of the poems, that is a fourth poem, Any Woman, written by Catherine. I've chosen this poem by Catherine Tynan, Any Woman. Basically, the title itself is very much interesting to anybody, because this poem mainly deals with womanhood, motherhood mainly. The poetess Catherine Tynan was born in Ireland. She was an Irish-born writer, but belongs to England, who wrote in English beautifully. Though she was born 161 years back, she wrote a very beautiful poem, which is very much useful even today, because the enormous sacrifice of a woman, mainly of a mother, the various types of works she does at home to her family, all these are well known to anybody. This is not discussed anywhere, but a woman constantly keeps working for her family selflessly. And Catherine Tynan, though was born in an agricultural family, was sent for education. She learned a lot. Then later married G.M. Hopkins, that is Gerard Manley Hopkins, another English writer. And she wrote a lot of books. Mainly she was famous for her novels and poetry. She was born in 1859 and died in 1931. She was around 72 years old when she passed away. And she had, to her credit, 5 autobiographical volumes also in her career. Then her daughter was also a poet. She was a very influencing mother in a way. As we find now in this poem, we find Catherine being a successful mother too. She has 3 children, and out of her 3 children, one of her daughters also took up literature as her profession. And Any Woman is a poem which is prescribed for us, deals with the work that a mother does, or the important role a mother plays or a woman plays in her family. It is all she does just for her children and her husband, the whole family together. She plays a very important role, a very key role that she plays. Generally, what do you all think of a woman Any woman means not just any woman, but basically, when we come to this poem, it is about a mother, I said. Generally, coming back to the notable works of a poet are the collected poems in 1930, and then she wrote more than 100 novels, then 5 autobiographical volumes like 25 Years, The Middle Years, The Years of Shadow, The Wandering Years, and Memories. These are all her autobiographical works, volumes. Then, these are the writing part of the poet. Then, before I begin the poem, let us pose a few questions. Generally, who provides you everything at home? Ultimately, your mother. Then, who is the most responsible person at home? That too is a mother. Even though the father is responsible enough, he takes care of earning the bread for the family. But a mother takes the whole responsibility of rearing her children, doing her job at home to feed them or to make the home or to do all sorts of domestic job. Then, does a mother get respect and support from her family? It is yes and no question. No answers, because not always she gets respect. Not always that she's supported by her family. But even though she is not respected, even though she is not supported by her family, she still does her job. She fulfills her responsibility of a mother by looking after her children, by cooking for them, washing for them, then doing the home, then whatnot, all sorts of jobs she does. We just take it for granted that why is a mother at home for us to do all these jobs for us, all this work for us. She is responsible to cook for us, or she is there to do our clothes or do the dishes. If the servant maid is not there, she'll have to do all the work. At home, she does each and everything. Then the father comes and he wants some particular dish to be made. She has to make for him. Then if the children don't eat that food, she has to make something else for them. Then she will have to polish their shoes or get them ready to school, make them have their bath. If they are dependent children, they are kids, she has to look after each and everything of them. Then she has to cook. Then she has to, if possible, she has to go to market and get everything for cooking and the other things. Then she may have so many other problems also, but she never exposes all of them. She simply does her work because that is her family. Then we have, for everything we rely on the mother. We do something. We are afraid of the father figure because though he is also an important person in the house, children generally go to the mother. Why? Because she is a forgiving figure. She is always an excusing personality. Whatever you do, she simply forgives you. She will ask you not to do that again. She'll teach you morals. She tells you the do's and don'ts, like how you should be or how you should not be. If possible, she looks after your homework. She helps you out doing your homework, or she will protect you from your father beating you or scolding you if you do something wrong. She will try to correct you. She will not take all the matters to the father. If you want some money, you go and ask, Mom, I need this. She may give you. But sometimes if you go to your father, he may say, no, why do you want money now? What do you want to do with it? I'm giving you everything. I'm getting chocolates. I'm getting this, that. Why do you want money? I won't give you. You don't go here. Don't go there. So many restrictions we'll keep having from the father's side. But a mother, simply after the father goes out, when you approach your mother, she'll simply ask you to do whatever you want. And that too, not going away from her watch. She always keeps a watch on you. See, these qualities, like the motherhood, it's a very tough job, Only when you children become mothers, or when you become parents, you will know the tough time of parenting. Because if there are now only one or two children are there at home, earlier days there were more than 5 children. How would those parents manage? How would they have managed all of them? A big family containing 4 or 5 children, or even 7 children, or 8 children. The mother is ultimately responsible. The father will be busy earning for the family or doing his business, and he won't be at home sometimes. He may be on tour. And the mother is held responsible for the whole family. And mainly, she must have patience. That is the first quality that a mother possesses. She needs to have patience with you, with children. Then she's very much loving and caring. Whatever the qualities that I tell you about mother are very much important. If I say this is the first quality, then again I think yes, this is also another first quality. But all these firsts won't be there. Only first means only one will be there in the first line. But for a mother, all these qualities are to be kept in the first row, because she is such loving and caring and understanding. She must be very calm and composed. All the children suddenly they keep shouting at one another or fighting. She has to come and patch your quarrels. She has to defend you, not to fight. Then she has to look after each and everyone is equal to her. Not one is more and the other is less. The girls and the boys, everybody must be taken care of because they are her children. Everybody is equal to her. Then she'll be very much friendly with us. She is very comforting when something goes wrong with your friends or outside. She takes you to her. She hugs you and says, doesn't matter. Don't be afraid. Tell me what happened. I'll be there for you. She is a good friend of us. She is very much caring. She teaches us all good things to do and very hard working. She keeps working all the time. Then she's very brave enough. When something comes, you are frightened. Even if you see a cockroach or something, if you're frightened, she just takes you aside and removes that from your sight. Then she looks after your safety and security. And she's very confident enough. You see, oh, my mother, she's very bold, she's very brave, she's very confident, she does so many things. All these things we feel when we, even when we grow old, these qualities, we feel that they are there with our mother, because those only are supporting things for us to grow. Then the other thing is she loves us unconditionally. Whether you bring her anything or no, even after you grow up, even when you start earning your own bread, and even if you don't get anything for her, she's happy. She loves you even then. Her love is not conditional. So many things that we experience in our life are basically we get them from our parents, mainly from the mother, because we are very much attached to her, because the few months and years that we grow up after we are born are looked after by our mothers. So we have a lot of attachment with her, and we have a lot of influence on us of the mother. So why I have to talk about all these gracious qualities of a mother are because our poet Catherine Tynan writes us from that point of view, not from the love that she got from her mother because she was a father child. Remember, she, as a mother, she was that caring. All that we find in the poem now. I'm going to read out that whole poem now. I'll show you the poem and I'll read it out first before explaining. I'll read the whole poem, then slowly, so that you can understand little by bit by bit. All these qualities that she tells us are there, that are written in the poem, are there in the poet herself. That was what her daughter also says, that whenever we come out from somewhere, she just lifts her head from the writing pad and looks at us whether we need her or some support or something like that. She used to say. That means, see how caring. She was a very busy writer. See how many writings she has. So, that busy a writer is that caring a mother also, our poet. So, coming from that, these are all the points that we discuss now about a mother are from a second or a third person's point of view. But now, when we come to the poem, exact poem, she directly says the personal pronoun I can be seen here. That means not necessarily for any poetry there may be I. That is, the poet writes as if he is talking, but still that may not, those words may not be directly of the poet. But now in this poem, we can take them. The words written in the poem can be taken as the words of the poet herself because she is a woman poet and she strongly believes in good motherhood, the responsible mother, or the qualities that a mother has. And see how she thinks of protecting her children also is just simply superb closing lines of the poem. I'll read it out and then just observe them. Slowly we'll go through the lines. I am the pillars of the house, the keystone of the arch am I. Take me away, a roof and wall would fall to ruin me utterly. I are upon the hearth, I am the light of the good sun. I am the heat that warms the earth, which else were colder than a stone. At me the children warm their hands. I am their light of love alive. Without me cold the hearthstone stands, nor could the precious children thrive. I am the twist that holds together the children in its sacred ring, their knot of love from whose close tether no lost child goes a wandering. I am the house from floor to roof. I deck the walls, the board I spread. I spin the curtains, warp and wove, and shake down to their bed. I am their wall against all danger, their door against the wind and snow. Thou, whom a woman laid in a manger, take me not till the children grow. I hope you understood at least the overall meaning of the poem, though poetry is not that easy to understand by anybody because it's not in the spoken language. Prosaic language and prosody, they say. This is a poetic language. This is not prosaic language. The prose lessons and poetry lessons, as you all know, poetry is not that easy to be understood or that easy to be explained also because they have their own way and style of writing. They have their rhyme and meter and their rhythm and there are particular forms of poetry, and the words that they use, because basically we Indians are not native speakers of English. We find it little difficult to understand English poetry because of the words they use. Some of them are the images that they use in this in the poetry are not that easily understood because we don't have them in our country, or we may not be using them. And especially English poetry has some imagery which we need to have some pictures to understand. So with the help of some pictures I try to manage them for you for to understand easily, to understand better. Now, as this poem, which contains of 6 stanzas, the very first stanza itself, we find the poet talking about directly saying that she is the main part of the house. Directly she says that. She doesn't beat about the bush, neither she says that this, that, or something like that. She uses the figure of speech metaphor here. And metaphor means for understanding better, there are certain ways of writing. That is figures of speech, we say. In English, figures of speech means like simile, metaphor. All these things are used for us to understand better in our native language. Also, in our mother tongue, we have alankaralu. Alankaralu means upamalankaramu, rupakaalankaramu, utprekshaalankaramu, atisayoktaalankaramu. Like this, we have some in our Telugu also. So, like these, there are those alankaras are used for us to get a clear picture of the words that are used, or the comparisons, or something like that. The language that they used, the poets used. To give a clear picture, like for example in English, these figures of speech which I said now for alankaras are simile, metaphor, and the other things. Simile means you compare one thing to another thing. Like this is like that, and you used a word like or as. These are the two words that we find in a simile. Simile, then a metaphor is also a figure of speech which is used to compare one thing to another, but that doesn't literally, the other thing doesn't literally mean this. Like in simile, we find the words like and as, whereas in metaphor, you don't find that like and as. You directly say that this is this. For example, here in this first stanza itself, I give you the example. I am the pillars of the house, she says. She doesn't say that I am like the pillar of the house or like the pillars of the house. She directly says that she is the pillars of the house. So this is the difference between a simile and a metaphor. And this is a metaphorical usage to give us a clear picture of the importance of a woman in a family, in her house. She clearly states that she is the pillars of the house. What is a pillar? What do you understand by a pillar? I'll just show you. See, she used these two words. She is the pillars of the house, then, and she's the keystone of an arch. So, what are these two things? Pillars are on which a construction is made. They are the main, they play a very major role in the construction of any building. Then coming to the keystone. Keystone is a very important stone in the arch. See, the shape of the arch is also given there. That curved shape is called an arch, and in that center point there's a keystone on which all the other stones are based and the arch is made. So the pillars which we find here a house is made is built on pillars, and on which a house can remain, without which the house will just collapse. Without foundation, you can't build anything. Without the support of pillars, there won't be any walls or anything that can be constructed. Then the keystone. So these two comparisons here, that a woman is the pillars of the house, then the keystone of an arch. Am I, she says. That means I am, we say. And in a poetry, it is in the other way. And she says, if these two things are not there for a construction, what happens? Imagine. She says, take me away, and roof and wall would fall to ruin me utterly. So, if you just remove me from the house, there'll be nothing. My whole family will simply be ruined. Means it will be destroyed like anything. We all keep listening to news, or we keep watching people or families where if a woman dies or if a mother passes away, imagine the torture they experience. There'll be nobody to take care of anybody at the home. Basically, the children, who will look after them? A man may be taking care of certain things. The father may be aware of only few things, but the mother knows everything about her child, about her whole family. She knows everything about everybody and everything to do. She can manage everything. But if you take that woman away from the home, the whole family is destroyed. Utterly, it would be ruined, she says. That wall and roof, everything will come down. Means the whole building will collapse. The whole construction of a family will come down if the woman is taken away. That is clearly, directly mentioned here. She says that I am this, and without me, this will happen. She shows the result of the destruction if the woman is not there, or if she dies. Simply saying, if she dies. Because in the first thing, if I'm not there, what will happen is what the woman says here, the mother tells here. Now coming, the comparison of the woman with a keystone and a pillar are not the literal part of it that you have to take. You have to take the role they play. Physical construction or physical building of a house is based on these things that she told, and the whole construction of a family that you have to take here. The meaning of the pillar and a keystone are the important part they play in constructing a building. Now, in the construction of a family, the important role is the mothers. So, the comparison is between the mother and the building. The important parts that they play in making a construction stay strong. So the family is also very much dependent on the key role of a mother. Now, coming to the second stanza. I am the fire upon the hearth. I am the light of the good sun. I am the heat that warms the earth, which else were colder than a storm. I am the fire upon the hearth means, what is hearth? In the first picture, you find a fireplace here. The first picture here we've been given here is a fireplace. I think all of you must have been watching them recently on the movies, or in English movies, or recently in some our Indian films also. This fireplace you must be watching at home. What is the use of this fireplace? It is a big log of wood, huge logs of wood is put in a fireplace for the fire to burn continuously. What is the need of a fireplace at home? This fireplace is compulsorily in every Western home. If it is an individual house, this fireplace is constructed for the house to be warm. Why should it be warm? Because the Western countries are very much cold. Almost 6 to 7 months of a year, they have chilling weather. They don't have sun maximum time. If sun shines brightly, they are very much joyous enough. They come out and they enjoy sun rays. And this particular place around the fireplace, the place around, that means the whole surroundings of the fireplace is the hearth. Means a mother is as important as a place that gives you warmth. Means by her love that you receive is a warm love that she gives to her family, to her children. This fire, what does the fire do? It saves us from the chill, the cold atmosphere. Sometimes people die also in winter seasons due to cold weather, due to chill winds. People die like in the eastern countries for in the summer season. People die of hot weather. There are deaths even due to chilled weather there. So it rescues us. The fire, the warmth, the heating atmosphere saves us from a cool atmosphere. So just as the fireplace and the surroundings give you warmth, saves you, the mother is also just like that warmth. She gives you warm love. She loves you and saves you from all sorts of danger. And she is the warmth of the sun. Then warmth of the sun means generally we don't realize the value of the sun because basically it's a very giant star. It is around 4.5 billion years of age. Sun has. Then it's the largest object on the solar planet. Then what is the sun useful for? Basically, when it is a sunny day or when the sun is shining brightly, generally we dry the clothes. Then it gives us warmth and heat. Then we make it creates food. That means we do cultivation based on the sunny day, or the plants and trees make their food with the sunshine. Then electricity is produced. We run cars by solar energy. The solar energy is being used for so many things now, electricity, everything, and it keeps our house warm. So many uses are there by the sun. So all these are provided to us by the warmth of the sun. You don't buy, you can't get it by buying. It is not artificial. So all these things are quite natural. So just as the sun gives its warmth, the mother also has her role to play. I am the light of the good sun. These people are very much joyous, they joyful, when they get a sunny atmosphere, you find these people going for sunbath also in the Western countries, in the beach for D vitamin. Now we all know the importance of D vitamin, and in this pandemic time, people are also said that you have to take a lot of vitamin D, that corona doesn't enter your body if you are sufficiently provided with it. But that comes from sun, and it can't be had through any sort of food, but maximum naturally. Even the babies who are newborn babies are affected by jaundice, and the doctors ask the baby to be kept in sun in the early morning. See what useful medicine you get from sun. So like that, so many uses, and these people here, the poet and her surroundings, where the Western people or the English people, they really need that sun, good sun, she says, not the one that is scorching and biting. And she is the light of that good sun, and I am the heat that warms the earth. The sun naturally warms the earth, and the earth completely is very much joyful when it reaches, when the sun rays reach the earth. It dances with happiness, the trees, the plants, everything, the nature, and the flora and fauna of nature are very much happy at the entry of the sun rays. It's a beautiful sight to look at the sunrise and sunset also. And which else were colder than a stone? So, without the fire, without sun, what will happen? We'll be chilled. We'll become like rock or a stone. So all this is dispelled with the entry of the sun rays, with the entry of the fire, with the warmth of the fire. So mother is so useful or so loving that her warmth gives life to her children. All these things that we get out of sun and fire, the comfort from the fire, the warmth from the sun, all these things are given by the mother too. So without which we become like a stone. Means we are protected, not literally becoming a stone, but we are protected by the love and warmth of a mother. So much that it is uncomparable. Her mother's love is so vast, and it is she is so unconditional in her love. Then coming to the third stanza, here she says another thing, the very important thing that we have to remember about the rearing of children. A mother takes care of a child very much. She feels that the bringing up of a child is very important, and she wants her child to be at the topmost range always. There's a saying also, even if it is the ruler of a country, he is the son of a mother. We find our Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, going to his mother and touching her feet also. See, such an aged person his mother is, and he still is a son to her. Though he is the leader or the great, holds a great, the topmost position of a country, he is still a child at the feet of his mother. And the mother feels very happy looking at her child. So the same way, a mother feels very delighted in the rearing of a child and feels very proud of her child if he grows in a good way. all the mothers expect their children to be great, to look after their children and give everything that is the best. Even though they don't have something to eat, they keep something aside for their children and feed them. There's a story also saying that a mother always stays back, not having dinner with her family together. So every day, everybody eat and sleep. They just watch their mother feeding them, but she doesn't eat along with them. Naturally, mothers are always looking after the family, whether they are properly provided with at dinner or lunch or breakfast. They give them everything, they cook everything, they look after that everything is provided to them and nothing interrupting or something like that. So they give everything. They want to see their home comfortable. So after the whole family eats, the mother takes her dinner or lunch or something like that. So after cleaning the things or everything, but every day she does that, and a child thinks, what is happening? She's not eating with us. So one day the younger child stays back. After everybody eats, after everyone sleeps, he also goes to sleep but doesn't sleep. He watches, he observes his mother, what she does. What is pathetic is she doesn't have anything to eat. After the whole family eats, when the children, they don't know what's happening, whether they have sufficient food or not. They may ask something more to eat, and what the mother says, the younger child is always hungry, more hungry, and so he keeps asking something more to be fed. So she gives him, and she stays back, and the thing that is happening is the child understands that because he is taking something more than everybody is eating, his mother is staying without food. She is being very sacrificial, always sacrificial. Mother doesn't think of herself, so she sacrifices her food also for the sake of her child. The moment he learned that his mother is hungry, and but still she is not complaining, he learns that from the next day he doesn't even ask that extra food, or he even reduces the amount of food he takes regularly, so that his mother would eat that part of his regular food, that which he took lesser, and the remaining food that she has to eat goes to her. So what a caring child she has, and what a sacrificial mother. It goes hand in hand, that relation. When a mother is so affectionate enough, the children also try to understand her. But if the children, even though the children don't understand, the mother is the same. She gives the same old love that the children deserve. It's not that if the children scolds her or deserts her also, she doesn't talk ill of them. She doesn't hate them. The children may hate the mother, but the mother doesn't. That is the great love of the mother. It is seen not just in humans, but even in all the other living creatures. We find this in nature. We'll talk about it later. Now, coming to you, these lines, at me, the children warm their hands. I am their light of love alive. Without me, cold the hearthstone stands, nor could the precious children thrive. So, the on and off, we find this warmth or the love and affection that the mother gives is compared to warm feeling that the children, they come and hug their mother when they have any problem. They go to their mother, and if they tell her, she takes them, she hugs them and pats them. Don't worry, my child, I am there for you. I'll give you whatever you want. Please don't be afraid. everything will be all right. This is a simple comfort that a mother can gives her child, and that is very much needed, because that is the time when a child needs some confidence that he can get from his mother. So he goes to his mother and tells her about all his insecurities, or whatever he has, whatever fight he had with his friends, or whatever that is going around in the family with his other siblings, like his sisters, brothers. So if they fight, they go to the mother and then tell her, and she patches their fights or any misunderstandings. Even not just kids, but even the elder people, grown-ups, also turn to their mother for comfort and love, because that is not bought, it is quite natural, and everyone are comforted very much, and a lot of confidence can be given by the mother. And the mother, without her, the children, without the mother's guidance or love, the children would be completely the precious children. The very precious. See, precious means very much valuable. A mother, any child is a more. It's such a valuable gem, like diamond, to the mother. So without the mother, the children would go. They may, what you can say is, they can be spoiled. They may go with some bad peer group, or they may pick up some bad habits. All these things may happen if the mother doesn't take care of her children properly. This so happens sometimes because the love that which their children do not find at home, they search for it outside. So whatever that is found outside, they may think that is great. So what the mothers do is they care for the children very much, and so the children are happily in the guidance of the mother, walking in a right path. Look at this picture here, how the mother is cuddling the baby and how comfortable the child is. So such a feeling that a child has and the mother gives. Whatever the child expects from the mother gives. So that is a beautiful bond between a mother and the child. And the child must compulsorily go in the direction of the mother, otherwise he would get spoiled. Then, in this fourth stanza, we find the poet telling us about the important bond that is between the mother and the child. The bond means that which is so tightly attachment, the great attachment that which the child and the mother has. I am the twist that holds together the children in its sacred ring, their knot of love from whose close tether no lost child goes a wandering. So, the mother is a constant protector. How does she protect her children? By firstly giving them whatever they want to eat, or to do something they want, or not everything is granted. Remember, the mother gives, tells do's and don'ts also. She concentrates on what they have to do in a proper way. Then she keeps them very much tightly attached to her by her love and concern for them. She's just like the twist. See, the twist is given here in the red color picture. Here we find a knot here. And the ring, the sacred ring, means that bond means the bond of love that we find here that binds the mother and the child. See how beautifully the mother is taking care of the child on her back. See that the happiness in the mother's face, the joy in the child's face, we can see this for any age. A mother and child relation is the same. Then the, in the fifth stanza, she tells about, I am the house from floor to roof. I deck the walls, I board the spread, I spin the curtains, swap and woof, and shake down to be their bed. Here in this stanza, the multitasking mother we can find. See, she does so many things along with taking care of her children, looking after her job. If she's a working mother, taking care of that job, then domestic job, all the things that are required for a family and for her own career, everything she takes care of so much. Then at last, by sleeping time, she looks after the child and gives him proper sleep, making his bed. Means from dawn to dusk, all job she does for the family. She is that important. She cleans the house, she washes the curtains, then makes food for them. Everything, cooks food for them, makes bed, everything she does for the family. And she's such important that everything from top to bottom, everything she does for them is what we explained in this fifth stanza. Now coming to the sixth one, the last and final stanza is very clearly shown here that she protects the child from everything. She says that I am their wall against all danger, their door against the wind and snow. We'll look at these two lines only first. See, I am their wall against all danger, their door against the wind and snow. See the snow here in this picture now, how it is falling. The snowfall, as a great snowfall, is there for them, not for us, but where it is highly important for them, difficult for them to go out of their house, or even inside the house, it's very difficult for them to move. So from that snow and danger, the mother protects the children. See, look at the second picture where we find the mother protecting all the children. Now coming back to the sixth stanza, last two lines. Thou, whom a woman laid in a manger, take me not till the children grow. So thou means you. The old English word for you is thou. You. Who is that you here? She is praying to Lord Jesus. Thou whom a woman laid in a manger means Mary, Mother Mary places Jesus in that manger, means a place where horses and sheep are fed with. All the place where the cattle were kept. So she gives birth to infant Jesus there. So, oh Jesus, where your mother kept you there. That means she addresses the Mother Mary also here. So, thou whom a woman laid in a manger, take me not till the children grow. So the third line, thou whom a woman laid in a manger means, oh Lord Jesus, do not take me until my children grow. So she is praying to the Lord not to take her away. Means she is asking not to kill her. Not death to enter her family until her children grow. She wanted her children to be independent enough. Without the help of the mother, they can until they can do something on their own. Until then, the woman wants to be as a help to her children. See how the mother is taking care of. She is so concerned about the development of her children, and this is a strong protection. In the first two lines, we find her giving protection to her children. In the last two lines, we find her prayer to the Lord to give her life until her children grow. See, until the last minute, she she thinks about the welfare of her children. See, that great is a mother. and all these are projected in these six stanzas. Stanza means a verse of 4 lines. So 6 4 is 24 lines here we find here. And in all these 6 stanzas, we find the poet talking the greatness of mother. Now, at the end of this session, I would like to show you a video of 6-minute video. A boy below 10 years, I think he is. He sings a beautiful song on the mother also. Please stay and listen to that. Then coming to the when I'm was going through this poem, I just was reminded of a quotation, a proverb also I can say. The hand that rocks the cradle rules the world is the poem's name, name of the poem, where it was written by William Ross Wallace in 1971. This poem is basically about the mothers, importance of mothers who were real builders of nation, he tells here. He says that the mothers train the children. Basically, first thing they give them training in looking after everybody, then giving them to pray to God, then obeying orders, all sorts of discipline. Means the character is built by the mother, by telling him to be good, to do good, and develop good qualities, and being holy and pious. The mother is so holy and pious that her words are so much strong that because the mothers are or the mother's words are strengthened, they say, by the words, by the worship of angels, because the mother worship gods and angels. They strengthen the mother's words. So whatever the mother says, we have to follow. So by that, the child grows and turns into a great personality. So we find few people here who were very much great. I just can tell you some great personalities who were reared by their mothers. I can start with Shivaji, who was very much influenced by his mother Jijabai. Then great personalities like George Washington, President of America. Then Charlie Chaplin. Then Maya Angelou, an African writer. Then Pablo Picasso, who was a great artist, painter and artist. Then Thomas Alva Edison, who was the inventor of a bulb or electricity bulb. Then Abraham Lincoln, again American president. So all these people were very much influenced by their mothers. So a mother is the role of a mother is very important. My dear students, girls from you are very much responsible enough in rearing children. So later in your life, take care of being a good mother. Now finally, I would like to play a video for you by Stephen Samuel, a song on mother. Thank you for listening to me. We'll meet in another session.
You wait for me by the door. I see tears fill up